Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Campus security officers are urging local college students to be aware of their surroundings following 3 suspicious incidents last week at Augustana University and the University of Sioux Falls.
In one case, a man broke into a home at 31st and Duluth where 4 female Augustana students lived. The man was in one of the bedrooms watching the women sleep and then ran off when he was discovered. Investigators say he had cut a window screen to get inside.
Augustana Security is also looking for the driver of a suspicious vehicle that was spotted at the intersection of 29th and Summit last week. Officials say the vehicle is registered to a known sex offender. Also last week at USF, a man was seen walking south on Prairie Avenue from the Jeske Fine Arts Building, possibly carrying a gun. The USF campus security director tells KELOLAND News he believes the incidents are related.
The Pennington County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's help in finding a missing man. Officials say 78-year-old Leland Winchester left his home on Morris Place in Rapid City around noon Sunday. Authorities say he was going to the Millstone restaurant and did not return home.
He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall with blue eyes, gray hair, and a gray mustache. Winchester was wearing a black shirt, gray hoodie, and possibly a red hat. He was driving this red pickup. Winchester suffers from dementia and may become disoriented. If you have any information on where he may be, you're asked to call the Pennington County Sheriff's Office dispatch. The second annual Public Safety Showcase, including the Sioux Falls Fire Rescue and Police Departments, was held yesterday at the Convention Center.
The venue was full of police and fire vehicles for the event, which was put on through a collaboration between Sioux Falls Fire, Police, and Metro Communications.
So on the police side of it, we have a lot of our specialty units here. I'm here today helping with the bomb squad. Our SWAT team members are here. We're members of our traffic department. We have people from our family mentor group here, which is a group of families that help mentor our new officers and families that come into town, kind of help them get used to Sioux Falls and the community, different things that we have to offer.
Both Sioux Falls Police and Fire Rescue are currently looking to hire more people.
Now let's get a check of our forecast with meteorologist Scott Monk. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, everybody. Not as windy today as compared to what we had yesterday, and temperatures will be warmer, too. Numbers near 60 degrees for many today. For central, eastern, and southeastern KELOLAND, a little cooler in the northeastern South Dakota. Aberdeen at 52, but check out Valentine and Pine Ridge, both coming in at 70 today. Winds do pick up again for tomorrow, and we'll watch for chances of precipitation. Brian will have more details on that coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Lake Campesca west of Watertown is expected to crest today at 54 inches above full. People who live along the lake were busy over the weekend stacking thousands of sandbags to protect their properties.
Residents say they're at the mercy of the water right now. The sandbagging has been a cooperative effort with neighbor helping neighbor.
We've got some good neighbors. We've got some good people in the community that are helping out, and we're just trying to do whatever we can to keep everybody safe and dry.
The rising water level isn't the only problem people at Lake Campesca are facing. The strong winds blew sheets of ice into yards, homes, and businesses.
Meanwhile, the South Dakota Highway Patrol says throughout the northeast corner of the state, especially Day, Roberts, and Grant counties, there are many washed out roadways caused by previous flooding.
Law enforcement has responded to several crashes due to the washed out roadways. Officials ask drivers to be patient and use alternate routes until these areas can be fixed. Don't go around roads closed signs and pay attention while driving. According to a survey by South Dakota Newswatch, a majority of county auditors in the state do not agree with the legislature's ban on drop boxes for absentee ballots.
While lawmakers cited election integrity for enacting the ban, South Dakota did not record a single case of voter fraud or other election-related crimes tied to the use of ballot drop boxes in 2020 or 2022. The survey drew responses from 58 of 66 counties in the state, including 29 of the top 30 by population. Most auditors say they oppose the ban because it'll make it harder, not easier, for voters to participate in the democratic process. Find out how county auditors secured their drop boxes to prevent tampering or vandalism by going to this story right here on KELOLAND.com. Coming up later this morning, there's one more chance for the public to share their thoughts on the proposed social studies standards. The public hearing gets underway at 9 o'clock at the Ramcota Convention Center in Pierre. The format will be the same as the first 3 hearings.
Each side will get 90 minutes of time. Written comments will also be considered. A vote is expected after the hearing. KELOLAND's Carter Schmidt is on his way to Pierre. He's going to have the details for us tonight on KELOLAND News. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, well, a return to spring weather, and along with that comes at least the chance of a little thunder and lightning this week. We'll see how things come together tomorrow night. Chance of a little bit of severe weather across eastern Nebraska, perhaps into a little section of eastern South Dakota. We're thinking the majority of these things will shift to the south and east on Wednesday. That's where your best chances of severe weather would be. We will likely pick up additional showers, though, on Wednesday. And on top of that, the return of some cooler weather. So take advantage of a couple of nicer days temperature-wise. We'll feature some 60s this afternoon. Sioux Falls being one of those locations, close to 60. On the maps, a warm front developing in south central South Dakota. Prevalent southeasterly wind will help to at least push some of the moisture in from the southeast back into our forecast. And I think our rain chances will get better tomorrow night along that warm front in eastern KELOLAND. And as we sprout some rain, expect that will move through. It'll focus more into Minnesota and parts of Iowa on Wednesday. To our north, a secondary low. That's the one that's going to really instigate some of this cold and the wind. The next phase of northwest winds that'll develop Thursday, but more likely ramping up by Friday. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be plenty blustery to start the weekend. So take note of that. And yes, this blue, that is snow, a little bit of it at least on Friday. That's our initial thoughts on that. Again, we've got more time this week to kind of sort through that. The initial rain chances starting tomorrow night into Wednesday and Thursday. I'm really kind of keying in on our heavier rains east of Sioux Falls and to the south. And there could easily be amounts over ½ an inch if you're watching us in those areas. If you're west and northwest of Sioux Falls, it's possible we could run a couple of streaks of 1/4 to ½ an inch of rain. We get a couple thunderstorms to roll through, but on average, the numbers are generally a little closer to 1/4 inch. Even the far west, Rapid City, not even to that level. So that's kind of the layout on these chances of rain that you're seeing on your 7-day forecast. We're not exactly in a soaking rain scenario at this point in time. 60, our temperature today in Pierre, 65, Rapid City. After that day today, I think tomorrow we'll do better than that in Sioux Falls. We should be at least into the middle 60s. And we'll look forward to, hopefully, some sunshine with that. Wednesday, we, of course, have these rain chances around. So mid-60s still around in the forecast. But after that, northwest winds, only low 50s on Thursday. And we'll struggle in the 40s on Friday and Saturday. We may not be done chopping those numbers. It really depends on how prevalent that wind is and how much that clouds us over. And we'll be able to sort that out through the week. Aberdeen, also mid-40s by Thursday and Friday. There will be some chances of intermittent rain and, yes, snow chances. A lot of that will be driven by probably what will end up being some pretty cold sun intervals, too. And then that tends to rev up the instability factor this time of year. So we'll keep an eye on all those items. Pierre, you folks are in the 60s the next 3 days, so it's a pretty decent start. And we're going to cool back mid-40s Thursday with the wind developing Friday. And that wind will be also part of Rapid City's forecast. And I do believe there will be not just rain showers. There will be some pockets of snow, especially in the Black Hills. No surprise at that. All right, check out the rest of the details with our forecast online at KELOLAND.com.